I guess it's time again. To where it comes. I watched the real sunrise coming up over the Pacific, and you might think I'm losing my mind, but I will shy away from the Pacific, 'cause I don't want you to know who I am. But soon you'll see my heart in the saddest thing it's ever been. This is who I am, to try and live my life. Every moment that I wish that I could take back, I'm sorry for the person I became. I'm sorry that it took so long for me to change. I'm ready to. Okay, I'm gonna stop it because I'm gonna keep singing it.
Alrighty, good morning, good evening, good night. Sorry for the long intro, but we were just bringing out some classic and some vibe jams. But I'm Luke.
I'm Tony.
That's Ashley behind the camera. And we are the Anointed Chaos Podcast. Today, our topic. What is our topic on, Tony?
Like finances and like tithing,
cost of living,
how it hasn't increased, and just how it affects your daily walk with life. I know it's a struggle. It's a struggle for us. With us just having a brand new baby, it hit us harder than we intended for it to hit us. But with the church's help, we actually have gotten back on our feet, and
friends and family,
of course.
We have a good community.
Yeah, but I think I was never wanted to reach to the outlet of church. My wife did, and we noticed that reaching out to that outlet has like blessed us in more ways than one that we didn't realize. Me talking from my point of view, I'm getting closer with the church, the people of the church, the heads of the church. Just more of the finances thing. They'll come up to me and be like, "Hey, how's your finances?" Like, but privately, they're not like blasting all over church, and I think I like that too. It's just more of a intimate, like one-on-one type of deal. I don't know.
I'm very proud for him. That's probably the most he's ever talked in the podcast.
I know.
But no, we were kind of, when we were talking about the topic today for the podcast, we're talking about how tithing and offering can play into, like, we've seen it. A lot of people, me personally, going back, like, the tithing part is, it's something like, man, I just don't have it. Like, I just don't have it, Like, if I do this, is it going to be beneficial? And, there's been many times where it is beneficial. And, I think it is a beneficial thing to tithe, because as much as you really want to think about it, and, I just don't have it. We don't have it. How are we going to get to work? I think there's always those blessings that can come from it. It's funny, my son, anytime I give him dollar bills and we're at church, he likes to stay with me in the big adult church. And whenever tithe and offering comes, he's like, "Dad, I gotta give $1." And I always ask him, like, "Are you sure you want to give $1?" Like, I don't push him or force him to do it, And he's always like, "I gotta give $1," And I think it's just one of those things, like, there will be, your day is coming, your blessing is coming, and
yeah.
I think it's something that I know some churches more than others will push it and will shove it down your throat, and I don't think it needs to be like that. But I think it is something to think about. I think it is something to try. I'm not saying you have to do the full 10%. You know, I'm just saying maybe try it every once in a while, and you know, your blessing may come. Your blessing will come.
Yeah.
Um,
In God's time.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what me and my wife have learned, and we've learned it the hard way, more in the sense of like, I'm very impatient, so if I give my 10%, it's like, okay, well, it's been a week, God. What's going on? I'm still struggling, God. Where's my blessing at?
Yeah.
So, yeah, in that sense, it's just the human attribute of the impatient part of me wants to take over, and I just have to remember and remind myself, like, God's doing His will. And, like, with me and my wife, we're joining groups now, so we're spending even less time, and, like, our schedule is so Monday through Thursday, we're doing something.
Yeah.
Every day, and God realizes, because my wife's group is on Monday, mine is on Tuesday. I feel that God's gonna bless us because we're spending time out of our busy day to go spend 2 hours with fellow Christians to have
to fellowship.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that one thing that I always see it come up to, and it's like, you know, on average, people will watch TV for 2 hours, 3 hours, you know, a day. On average, people will be looking at their phone for at least, you know, five hours a day minimum. And it's like, it was one of those things, and it was like, how many hours of a day do you talk with God? How many hours of a day do you
read your Bible?
Do you read your Bible? How many hours a day do you worship or pray or just say thank you? You know, like, it's one of those things where it's like you start doing it more and more and more, and you feel better and better and better.
No, most definitely. Like, obviously, what I'm going to say right now is not a financial attribute of it, but my wife's been in group for a week now, 2 weeks. A week. And I'll ask her, like, oh, who are you texting? Because I see a bunch of texts. Oh, the girls. And then I'll look at mine, and she's like, oh, well, what do you guys talk about? I'm like, there's only been one text. Like, obviously we're men, so it's a lot different. And the women, and my wife, she has hard times. She goes through tough times, and her expressing is a lot different than me. So, like, I think of it as a blessing that she's able to connect with these Christian ladies, that she came back on last Monday and was like, babe, you're not gonna guess this, all these people have harder lives than me. And it's just so cool because we're all here fellowshipping in God. Obviously that's not a financial thing, but in a sense it is. Like, some of those people are skipping work or getting off early. I know we do. My wife does on Monday and on Tuesday because she has to cover for mine. So it's like we're taking a financial hit, but in the end we know it's going to be a blessing.
I get it.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think the thing is like, when it comes to finance nowadays, getting into that, I mean, everything is going up. Doesn't matter what it is. Groceries. I was just at a pumpkin patch, and like, one of the cheapest pumpkins there was like $6, and I went to Target, and I got 4 big pumpkins for like $12. So it was like, it's just wild. Like,
yeah, the variance of increases.
Yeah.
It just,
I mean,
depends.
gas.
Yeah.
I mean, everything nowadays is just, it costs. I mean, it costs just to walk outside. I feel like nowadays, you walk outside and man, it costs.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think it's crazy. I don't know if our parents like hid it from us, or I don't know. I feel like they pulled off some miracles, because I know for a fact we didn't have a lot of money, but we would always be out of our house.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we were never those kids that were like, oh, we're just at home. No, we would be places. We would be like at the mall, or we would go to parks, or whatever the case may be. But I mean, me and Tony, we have a big family now, you know, and so when we take the kids somewhere, no lie, we already know we're gonna spend some type of money. It doesn't matter where we're going. Like, you can go to the park and there's an ice cream man there. Or if you go to the park, you know you have to have something to drink because it's hot outside. We live in California. It's never cold. And if it is cold, then maybe we want a warm snack. Like, it's just like it's always something. But I don't remember it being like that. Like when we were younger. Like I specifically remember our parents saying like, we don't have a lot of money, or you should have got that at home. Things like that. I feel like it's not possible anymore.
Well, you see, I think your family, like me and my wife talk about it all the time. She goes, your household growing up was messed up. And it's like, we weren't allowed to be in our rooms. We weren't allowed to be.
It makes it sound horrible. I did not say it like that. I did not say it like that.
We weren't allowed to be, we had to be always with our family and in the living room. And my dad was strict. Like, we would, like, if we got brand new pairs of shoes and we came home like, oh, we're hungry, my dad would be like, I'll take a bite out of your shoes. Like, that's what you get. It's either your shoes or you were going to eat. Pick one or the other. But when it came to church and stuff, they were very giving. And it was the craziest thing because at the time we lived in Big Bear. So from Big Bear to Yucaipa, every day was like gas, like, and we drove an Expedition, like the big one. So I'm like, what? Like, now thinking about it, I don't know if just them going to church was blessing them. I don't know. I've never really asked my parents, but I'm like, that's a lot of gas.
Yeah, most definitely, especially in one of those big boats.
But they were very true to their religion, and we went 6 times a week.
Yeah, we were always at church when we were younger too.
Yeah.
I mean, like all the time. I mean, our church wasn't far though. It was like maybe down the road,
like 8 minutes.
Oh yeah.
So
right.
like gas probably wasn't exactly a factor for us.
Yeah. Well,
because I mean, obviously too, back then, gas wasn't that expensive.
Well, it wasn't. I didn't know. I didn't pay attention to gas prices. I guess because I was paying. Okay. I would always have to pump gas. I just never paid attention to the prices of it.
I started driving like when I was like 15 and a half. So pumping gas and stuff around that time, then yeah, it was a lot cheaper than it is now.
Yeah.
You could fill up my little Saturn with like $20 and I could go places. I can't do that now. I ain't going nowhere. I'm going down the street.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. I mean.
Yeah, but the Bible speaks. I don't even know how to say it. Like it has mentioned and makes it very firm. Like, pay your tithes, and I'll bless you. Like, and again, like Lucas was saying, it's not easy, but try it. Like, give up something for a month, 2 months, and pay your tithes, which is 10%, and see how it blesses you in a way that you might have not had that blessing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think sometimes
Like to this number. No, I'm just kidding.
I think sometimes in our situation, just with having Harley and being off work for a little bit, getting back to work and all that everything we went through, I think maybe at this point in our life it is a good idea. I mean, we still have lots of debts. I'm not sitting here saying we're like great in a great place, like we're not, but maybe it is a good idea to get us back on financial track, like the right way. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Like it is something to think about, something to pray about, something to see if that.
I'll be honest. I don't think. Well, I don't think. I know so. We don't pay her 10%, and I'm not telling you guys to pay your 10% and me not to pay it. I'm saying I want to get to a point financially where every month I'm giving my 10%, me and my wife, so we know that God always has our back in the end of the day. Like, yeah, we're going to struggle. And it's crazy to me because even now, I always tell my wife, like, no, we'll be fine. We'll be fine. And it's mind blowing sometimes when it's like when I least expect it. It's like, oh, this person for this job paid me, and it's so random that it's not so random. It's like a God blessing, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like she could
No,
be like,
it does. It makes
she could be
sense.
like, we got no money in the account, and we need to do this and this and this, and then all of a sudden it's just like, oh, okay, this job hit, this job hit, this job
Mhm.
hit, and it's like, oh, well, we got the money and more, so we can go out to dinner or whatever the situation is, and it's like I said, like it's too coincidence for it to just be just. I don't
Just
know.
happen.
Like,
It's
what-
not
yeah.
coincidental. It's God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's God always providing for us and always being there for
Yeah.
us. And it took us going through struggle and, well, we'll just say struggle bus to get to really, really, really. I mean, I think we've always known he's always there for us, but
Yeah.
I mean, he's really there for us.
Yeah.
He
'Cause
really
at,
is.
At certain times, it was like, how are we gonna get ourselves out of this hole? And we are getting ourselves out of this hole. It might not look like it, but we are, and it's some days like me and my wife will just lay on the sofa, and I'm like, oh, that was really good. Like we were able to pay this bill, then this job hit, and basically gave us the money back that we just spent on this bill.
Mm-hmm.
Because we got kids, stuff comes up all the time
All the time.
with sports,
Field
with
trips, sports.
field trips. They're charging us for field trips. That I do know. They did not do when I was little. It was a
I
free
think because
thing.
we had like more we had more fundraising when we were
Yeah.
younger.
I don't.
I swear, I might not have. I might not have fundraised all the time, but the school fundraised
See, I
like
don't
crazy.
know.
Those packets. Remember those packets they used to send home
And
all
then
the time?
book
They had
fairs
like
and
gift
all
wrap
that
and
stuff.
stuff in
Book
it.
fair. I used to love the book fair. I don't know
Well,
now.
our kids have the book fair, but
Is it virtual or is it?
no, it's
But the book
there.
fair isn't fundraising.
But it's not
just
fundraising.
books.
It just goes straight
I
to
used to
the.
love going in there and looking at the books.
Oh,
when I was
Lucas
a kid.
always gets stuff.
But you don't remember, like, we used to sell those books. You used to have, like, get those books, and they had, like, it was like Finger Hut. Like, everything was in there.
Oh yeah,
Like
coupons.
them old lady
yeah.
catalogs.
Oh yeah.
It had,
I
like,
never did that. I always
magazines.
wanted to sell
It
those.
had, like,
They only did that for
candy.
sports and stuff.
It had, like, everything
I'd
in
always
it.
sell to like my neighbor. I would sell to like.
Yeah, it had, like, cookie dough.
For $10, you get like $250 worth of savings.
Stuff like that. Yeah, it
Yeah.
had a whole bunch of stuff. And then if you sold so much, you'd get this prize. And if you sold this much, you'd go
Yeah.
to Scandia. And if you sold that much, you'd get a limo with a pizza party or
Yeah.
some crazy stuff. We used to have all of that. I feel like schools don't have that really as much anymore.
Well, it could just be the district we're in.
It could be.
Yeah,
Could be.
because I'm going to tell you guys, Redlands didn't do none of that.
Oh, well, we grew up in San Bernardino, and we went to San Bernardino schools.
Dino.
And I feel like we had so much stuff. Like, we had so much events. Even our Halloween fair, our parents used to put on like a
You guys had a Halloween fair.
Yeah, we did.
That.
yeah, our parents used to put on
A maze.
a haunted house, and they would like sell tickets, and it would fundraise for the school, and we would literally all of our family, my cousins, we would set up this haunted house
Oh, well,
inside the
when
kindergartner
we
room.
When we passed those elementary schools, and they started saying about the carnival, I'm like, when was that when I was in school? Because I didn't do none of that. I don't know.
Maybe you just didn't go.
Maybe I
Yeah.
don't remember.
I was like, maybe you just didn't go.
Yeah, maybe you just didn't go.
I was a bad kid. I would always walk home and do whatever I wanted because my mom worked.
Well, that's why. That's why. Yeah,
Yeah.
we weren't bad kids. We weren't allowed to be bad
Lewis
kids.
were bad
Our
kids.
parents were there.
Well, technically, Lewis was a good kid, and Lewis. So I would do bad stuff and drag Lewis with me, and Lewis would be like my conscience, like, Tony, we're not supposed to do this. We're not supposed to do this, Tony. Like, Tony, like, can we go home? Can we go home now, Tony? Tony, we need to go home. Mom's gonna get home. And sure enough, my mom would call and we wouldn't be home. Because my mom always called, like, if we didn't call my mom by like 3:30ish, she would be calling the house. And then if she knew that we weren't home, then she would have to go looking for me. And then that's when it was bad. And it was like in the like the worst part of town, like I was always in.
That's
Oh,
my
man.
husband.
But yeah, I don't know, like as I feel like more and more like, how should I explain in the financial aspect? Like middle class isn't middle class no more. It's almost where like every class has went lower to where like poor people are like super poor and hurting. And then we're like the middle class used to be like the well off people doing good, and I feel like now they're struggling because of the way that the economy
I feel like
is
even
going.
people that you think are like more well off still have struggles.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just hidden.
Like,
Or do a lot of
Yeah.
people? A lot of
I mean-
people.
let's just bring up groceries. Just groceries alone, okay? I think back when I had my first Bella, the oldest, I think I used to budget like something like $200 a month in groceries. I think we budget like $200 a week in groceries now. Like, we're not gonna get very far on $200 worth of groceries.
No.
Like, but I remember specifically writing on like my planner back then. She's just for time reference. She's 14. And being like, okay, $200 for groceries this month should be good to go. Like, what the heck were we buying back then? Like, what was I was just eating top ramen? Like, I seriously sit sometimes and I think about it like, how was that possible? I mean, there's no way things have changed that much.
Well, yes, because think about the inflation of '08. That's right when we graduated.
You
Yeah,
graduated?
talking about us back here, not that person back there.
He graduated in like 2012. He way younger.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, during the inflation and everything, that's when everything, even now, like, again, anybody who knows me knows I'm a Trump supporter. But Biden's inflation has been really bad these last 4 years, to where everything, meat, gas. Talk about it. I feel like our electricity bill, I'm not gonna lie with you guys, I feel like we need to go get it checked because it's like outrageously high. All the time, I'm like, there's no way.
Oh no, mine's really low.
There's no way this apartment.
You don't have an electricity bill.
I'm like, there's no way this apartment.
Somehow this man lucked out with an apartment that comes with all his utilities included. Like, that is literally unheard of in the state of California.
Yeah.
State of California, City of Redlands.
City of Redlands? Wow. Wow.
No. But no, that was the main focus of our topic, was the tithing, because I was telling my wife and my brother-in-law right here that my dad still fights it. My dad's old, and he still fights paying his
You're
tithing.
Not that old.
You're not old.
Not that old.
My dad? My dad's old. He's gonna be 67 this year.
I'm sorry, Dan.
Don't listen to him, Dan.
He's gonna be
You're young
67
at heart.
this year.
I know you very well, Dan.
But he's stubborn, and he's more like me, like, well, I got $15. I know I'm supposed to tithe, but I want a cheeseburger. So he'll go get his cheeseburger.
Yeah, that's tiny.
Yeah, and that's my dad's the same way. And where my mom's like, I got $15. Let me give $10 to tithing, and then I'll keep the $5 for me for the week. And as the years gone on, my mom has paid religiously to her 10%. And me and my wife were talking about it earlier. Like, she's blessed. Like, my mom's super blessed because she does her 10%, and we notice it. Like, not that she doesn't have her struggles and stuff with bills and stuff, but it's almost like,
She has like a peace.
yeah,
Like a peace about her. Like,
yeah, it's hard to explain. It's hard to explain, but yeah, it's like a piece with money. Like,
That's because Tony don't live there no more.
it's like the weirdest thing. Like, it's like, oh, just pay me when you can. Like, oh, okay, that's fine. And I'm like, and me and my wife talk about it like, man, we can't do that. Like, there's no way. And my wife, she has like this budget thing in this folder because not that I was like oblivious to it. I knew what bills we had, but in the sense of paying it, I just left it up to her. And now that we have the book and then we both can be watching each other, it just holds more of us accountability to it, where I feel like it helps out. Like the budgeting, I laugh at people for budgeting, but it legitimately works and helps. Like,
It's true.
my wife's super budgeting person. Like, I don't know, and I'm more of this, not the spender, just more of like the person like, we'll pay it when we pay it. Like, it'll be fine.
He lying. He the spender too. He is the
How
spender.
dare you, Tony?
I'm not spending.
How
I don't
dare
even
you be
remember
a
the last time I bought
spender.
a hat.
I'm not a spender.
You a spender too. Spender. You guys are like, we work hard. We should go eat.
We own our own business. We're our bosses.
Most of the time, I don't let him eat.
You don't. We'll be in and out of a house like in 8 minutes. Oh, that was too slow. That was too slow. We need to move. We need to pick it up. I'm like, what the heck? But
I think that the whole point of our podcast, though, overall, is
we wanted to make it more mellow than last week. One.
not so much mellow, but also just like we've heard so many stories from people about how they're struggling. People that we don't even think are struggling are having financial struggles. So, like, one to like again, just bringing it back to the reason we started this podcast, and let people know they're not alone. Let people know that there's other Christians out there that don't tithe religiously. We want to, but we don't. We're human, guys.
Yeah.
We're humans. Like,
We're not all perfect.
Well, it comes to the point where, like you said, it's the human attributes of us. Like, we only have $10, and Jesus wants us to give us that $10. It's almost like that meme. Have you seen where Jesus is asking that little girl for the teddy bear, but in back of his hand, he got even a bigger teddy bear? Have you guys seen that?
no.
Mm-mm.
No. Well, it's like a little meme. It's a
I feel like
little-
I could picture it in my head, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's basically gonna take the little bear from her, and that's all she has. That's her favorite possession, and he's gonna take it, but he's gonna give her a bigger
better
blessing. So, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
bigger, better one. So yeah.
So yeah, back to just finances in general. Like, I think for me, it's just big to let people know, like, trust in God. And I know that's easier said than done, but at least in our situation, it's definitely been it's been a lot easier when we put our trust in God. I'll say it that way.
Yeah.
It's a lot more. Like, I don't have that peace that my mother-in-law has. I'm working on it, but I don't have that peace that she has. Like my husband said, I'm more of a budgeter. I want to know where the money's going. If we only have a certain amount of money, okay, it's accounted for somewhere. Whether it be gas, whether it be a bill, whether it be groceries for the week. We're a family of 7, so we have to make sure we have snacks, and we have drinks, and we have
We don't have none right now.
a whole bunch of stuff. So budgeting is important to us, but I think, yeah, tithing. Let us know your tithing experiences.
Yeah.
Like,
I
reach
like
out
that.
to us.
I
Let
like
us
that.
know.
Yeah.
Do you tithe? Do you not tithe? How do you feel about it? Like,
And if you've
does it
tithed-
help your finances? Have you tithed and it doesn't help your finances? Or how? Like, let us know what you think.
I agree.
Put it in the comments. Drop
Put it
us
in
a
the
DM.
comments.
Yeah. Coming to a close, but I think next week is gonna be about
He really stepping it up today, guys.
like mental illness, like in the aspect of, like, no offense, growing up, I didn't hear nothing about autism. I didn't hear kids on the spectrum. I didn't hear ADHD, taking pills, and all that stuff. So I just want to dig deep into that. Like, what are people's opinions on it?
Mm-hmm.
I want to talk about it like a little bit. Like, I'm bringing it up right now, so like, if people got comments or concerns or whatever the situation is, like, let us know. I'm gonna let you guys know. I don't believe in mental illness. Mental illness is correct.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just the way I was brought up. I have a slow cousin, and legitly, he didn't get a freebie. It was more like, all your other cousins are gonna do this, you're gonna do it too. Like, it wasn't like, and he's slow, like, so seeing him and stuff, it's like, oh, okay, like, we knew he was slow, but we knew he was our cousin, but nobody gave him a break, and I feel like nowadays it's like more different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's definitely different. You don't call people slow either. Sorry if you offended anyone.
No slow?
No, it's not a thing. Like,
The brain's not fully capacitated.
oh my gosh. Okay, well, just stop while we're at it, guys. We're gonna talk about that next week. I think it's gonna be another heated discussion. But yeah, drop us comments, like, share, comment. Maybe there's a topic you guys want to hear too.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good one.
Give us some ideas. I'm Ashley.
I'm Tony.
I'm Luke.
Harley's not here today.
But this is the Anointed Chaos Podcast. Peace.